Yeah, I remember the early days, like Dana White wanted to put on an event, and they were saying, no, you can't have events anymore. And then eventually we wound up doing it indoors with no audience.
It was very frustrating for me because I just came off of like the Impractical Joker cruise. I just toured. I left Metallica and then did my own tour. So all I thought about was, okay, all those tours that were out there, all those bands, thousands of bands are touring everywhere. And all of a sudden in March, you're like, everything's shut. But up until February, you had thousands of different bands, all the meet and greets, all the hotels, all the airlines, all the partying. And no one out of that, you never heard anyone dying. And I would do meet and greets, have people coughing on me. I didn't know anyone dying. And I'm not saying people didn't die. We're not saying that because they get pissed. Like, is someone right now going, are you saying someone died? Sorry. No, dude, it's not what we're saying.
You want to hear a statistic that I've heard recently? 74% of hospitalizations and deaths could have been prevented. Is it 74%? Is that the number? With vitamin D? If people had adequate levels of vitamin D?
Bro,
I don't know if that's real, but I read this whole report on it, and I was like, if that number's real, and they knew that vitamin D was essential to fighting off diseases, if they knew that it was essential to the immune system, and they didn't tell everybody, they didn't just scream it from the rooftops, hey, there's this cheap thing that you can get, and it really protects you. It helps you a lot. It's great for you. It's actually a hormone, right? And it's great for you. You should go out in the sun and get it naturally if you can. But if you can't, you need to get some of this vitamin D. It's really going to help you.
Bro, and I would tell everyone, I would get
See if you
debates.
can find that.
Okay. Well, I just got in it with a friend, and people you love, and I go, you're the example of when you got sick, right? And then you come on and you say, hey, this is what I did, and blah blah blah, and hey, it helped me, right? That's all you did.
Yeah.
Now, it's how nobody sees that moment. If the world is in such utter despair from a disease or whatever you want to, is killing everyone. Now let's say it wasn't that, and we didn't have the news. You just heard people go, oh my God, everyone's dying, and like, well, what do we got to do about it? You have to get a shot in the neck. You got to get the shot. Well, is there any other? No, there's no. And then out of nowhere, someone goes, hey, man, I ate this plant. I'm not saying no. I'm just telling you, I ate this plant, and it was this berry. Actually, it kind of tasted another. I ate the berry, and then I did like 10 jumping jacks and stood out in the sun for an hour, and I don't know which of the remedy, but it helped. You think one person will go, whoa, what did you do? Not one human being. And when you saw the vicious attack.
Well, it was a coordinated response. It's very clear why they did it. They did it because I said that I got better and I wasn't vaccinated.
Dude.
And I got better quick. And they were mad. And so the best thing they did, the dumbest thing they did, was say I took veterinary medicine. When they're talking about a drug that is on the World Health Organization's list of essential medicines. It's like they've had billions of prescriptions, not like 100,000, like billions of prescriptions of ivermectin.
I got so pissed at some of my heroes, like, Terry Bradshaw, sorry to bring up his name. I can't look at him anymore. He's on Fox,
what did he do?
NFL, and he's like, I mean, let's face it, they're horse pills. I'm like, oh, dude, they bought you too?
He just didn't know. He doesn't know. He's probably one of those guys that's scared of the disease. He's an older guy, and they have a heightened level of anxiety when it comes to this, and they think that people are being irresponsible. That's what they really believe. He just is misinformed. That's all it is.
You're right.
He just didn't know that this narrative that there's only one way to deal with this, and that this way is actually going to stop it. Well, if it is going to stop it, why do you care who gets it? You should just get it. Because if you get it, that means that no one else is going to. You're never going to get it. Everybody who gets the shot is never going to get it. That was the narrative. That was a lie from the beginning. And now we're realizing that it was a lie. Everybody realizes it was a lie now. Like I was talking to someone last night that had COVID really bad after being vaccinated. Like really bad. 2 weeks wrecked.
So I have a great friend. His daughter, college, gets the shot. She ends up in the emergency room, and she's got blood clots on her liver. And they're all like, what do you think of it? Well, she rows a lot on the row team, and like, are you really gonna believe that's what it was?
Well, people do anything to not blame it on the vaccine. Like when there's an injury, like people want to find all sorts of other reasons. If there was any other thing that came along that was a new, novel remedy for things, and then there was this host of side effects that were attached to it, people would want to be investigating those side effects. But because this thing came along during the pandemic, and what Robert Malone talks about, where you have one solution that's presented to a problem that's isolating society, people are literally trapped, and this one thing is offered up as a solution. And anything that's opposing that gets attacked because everybody does the work of the propaganda machine. The regular people do that work because they genuinely believe that you're a knucklehead if you don't go and get vaccinated, and we're never going to get back to work. So they have that in their head, and that's their narrative. He just never looked. He's an old guy.
Okay.
Just probably wasn't looking into it, and he really thought that he was probably doing the right thing, encouraging people to go get it.
What makes me crazy isn't that a well-orchestrated, marketed, funded way to murder at the end of the day? Like to purposely keep people from getting healthy and actually stopping people? What if your mother that's your angel in your life, and what's being forced and threatened and ridiculed and shamed is that child or that husband, and they do it. And the people that created all this, let's not pretend they don't exist. The people that created this, they knew exactly what they were doing because they planned this in steps. You're not that smart to pull this off without really putting a lot of logic into this. And to me, that's murder. I don't know how you explain it in any other way.
Well, what gets really creepy is if they're ignoring evidence on certain things that could be beneficial because those things are not going to earn the money. Because then you lose all trust in them. Because like all you're offering up is a pharmaceutical remedy for whatever the situation is. You're not saying that there's any other things that can help. When we know that human bodies, there's a lot of things going on, man, and your nutrient levels are very important. Your metabolic health is very important for your immune system. All those things are connected and together. And to think that the way to fix that is only an injection, says who? And why are we listening to people that say that? Anybody that says that is crazy. The whole thing is important. All of your health is important. We should be encouraging people to be fit and healthy and to make healthy food choices and to take supplements and to exercise regularly and to like meditate. All those things are as good as medicine. If what you could get from being healthy was available in a medicine, it would be the most popular medicine in the world. And you can get it for free. That's available. You just got to do it, and they don't tell you that because they give us about you following the rules. And if you follow the rules, especially in pertaining to this one, then they make a load of money, and they have no accountability. And that's what it is.
It's unbelievable.
That's what it is. And so when someone like me says, hey, I got better real quick, they're like, oh, you idiot, you're taking horse dewormer. They're all saying it on CNN. So CNN lies. Now you know they lie. Because they knew I wasn't taking veterinary medicine. They knew that the guy who invented it literally won the Nobel Prize. It's so dumb. It's one of the dumbest checkers move ever. It's you know what it is? It's like playing chess and you just run your king out to the middle of the table. You, man. You're taking horse medicine. We're just going to repeat it over and over again. No one's going to know the difference. No one's going to research the billions of human prescriptions, the fact that it's an antiviral, that it stops viral replication in vitro, that there's studies on it, the fact that it stops yellow fever, people get all these parasites, it kills them. You're so stupid.
Oh my God.
It was one of the dumbest things.
It was so
But
great.
how could anyone ever trust them now when you know that this is how they treat something as so easily provable of being false? And what doesn't make any sense, like the attack literally makes no sense. You should be asking, hey, how'd you get better so quick?
Exactly.
And I got the hard one, supposedly, that's the Delta. Like, how'd you get better so quick?
Won't you? That is common sense.
Common sense.